Stop. Before you scroll away, let me ask you something that might change your life forever. Why is it that some men work their entire lives grinding, hustling, pushing, chasing, and still die with nothing to show for it? And yet, there are others, men who move calmly, quietly, with dignity, men who never seem to run after anything, and yet success finds them, wealth gravitates to them, respect follows them wherever they go. Today we go back, thousands of years back, to uncover the ancient secret that the wisest men in history understood about success, a secret that the modern world has buried under noise, hustle culture, and endless distraction. Stay with me, because what you are about to hear will rewire the way you think about your entire life. There is an old parable whispered in the halls of ancient schools of wisdom about two men who lived beside the same river. The first man woke every morning before the sun. He ran to the river. He fought the current.
He grabbed at the fish with his bare hands, screaming and splashing, desperate to catch something, anything, before the day ended. The second man woke slowly. He sat still beside the river. He studied the water. He observed the patterns of the fish. He built his net carefully, deliberately, and then he lowered it and waited. At the end of every day, the first man returned home exhausted, bleeding, and empty-handed. This is not a story about fishing. This is a story about you, about every man who has ever chased success and wondered why it keeps slipping through his fingers. The ancient wise men, from Solomon to Seneca, from Confucius to Marcus Aurelius, they all pointed to the same truth. You cannot chase what is meant to come to you. The Roman philosopher Seneca wrote in his letters over 2,000 years ago, "It is not that I am brave, it is that I know what is worth fearing. And what is worth fearing, more than failure, is the wrong kind of motion." Modern culture has sold you a lie. It has told you that the harder you chase, the more you will catch. Hustle harder, sleep less, want more, push further. But ancient wisdom tells us something different. The Tao Te Ching, written by Lao Tzu over 2,500 years ago, speaks of a concept called Wu Wei. It means effortless action, non-forcing, moving in harmony with the natural flow of things. Lao Tzu wrote, "The usefulness of a cup is in its emptiness." Think about that for a moment. When you are full of desperate wanting, full of chasing, grasping, clinging, you have no room to receive. In the modern world, this means the man who walks into a room desperate to impress never gets the deal. The man who needs the relationship destroys it. The man who chases wealth out of fear never holds on to it. You must become the kind of man that success wants to find. Point 2. The character of the attracted man. In the book of Proverbs, one of the oldest books of wisdom ever written, Solomon, the man regarded as the wisest who ever lived, wrote these words, "A good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold." Solomon was not telling you to ignore wealth. He was telling you what comes first. Before wealth, before success, before any outward achievement, there must be character. Character is what attracts, not performance, not hustle, not noise. Consider this truth from the ancient world. Every great empire, Roman, Greek, Egyptian, Persian, was not built by the loudest man in the room. It was built by men of iron character, men who kept their word, men whose actions aligned with their values, men who were the same in private as they were in public. In the modern world, character looks like this. You do what you say you will do. You show up when it is uncomfortable. You keep building even when no one is watching. You treat every person with the same dignity, the janitor and the CEO. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of the most powerful empire in human history, wrote privately in his journal words that were never meant to be published. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is the Stoic practice of detachment. It does not mean you do not care. It does not mean you do not work. It means you release your emotional grip on the outcome. The Stoics taught a practice called the dichotomy of control. There are two categories of things in this life: what is in your control and what is not. The wise man gives all of his energy to the first category and releases the second completely. Here is how this changes everything in the real world. When you walk into a business meeting detached from the outcome, present, confident, and unbothered by whether you get the deal, you are magnetic. People feel your stillness, your groundedness, your authority. But when you walk in desperate, needing the deal, fearing the loss, your whole energy radiating want, people feel that too, and they pull away. Seneca wrote, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." This has been misunderstood for 2,000 years. People read it and think it means, work hard and get lucky. But that is not what Seneca meant at all. What he was saying is this: the wise man does not chase opportunities. He prepares so deeply, so completely, so thoroughly, that when opportunity arrives, as it always does for the prepared man, he is ready to receive it fully. Think of the ancient Greek athletes who trained in Olympia. They did not chase glory on the day of the games. They prepared for years in silence, so that when the moment came, and it only came once, they were ready. In your life right now, this means sharpening your skills when no one asks you to, reading when others are sleeping, building when others are distracted, becoming the man who already deserves the success he has not yet received. The Pythagoreans, followers of the great mathematician and mystic Pythagoras, had a rule that every new student was forbidden to speak for 5 years. 5 years of silence, of listening, of absorbing. Why? Because the ancients understood that a man who cannot control his mouth cannot control his life, and a man who fills every space with noise will never hear the wisdom that is trying to reach him. Proverbs 17:28 says, "Even fools are thought wise if they keep silent, and discerning if they hold their tongues." In the modern world, where every man is screaming his opinions on social media, broadcasting his every move, performing for an audience, the man who is silent stands out like a mountain in a flat landscape. Silence communicates power. It communicates self-possession. It communicates that you do not need external validation, which is the exact energy that draws people, opportunities, and resources toward you. In ancient China, the bamboo tree was revered above all other plants, not for its speed, but for its roots. For the first 4 years after planting, the bamboo shows nothing above the ground. Nothing. A man who did not understand this would look at the soil and declare the seed dead. He would abandon it, give up, move on. But the farmer who understood bamboo would water it every single day, in faith, without evidence, without reward. Was it growing for 6 weeks? No, it was growing for 5 years, underground, building the root system strong enough to support what was coming. This is your life. Right now, if you feel like nothing is happening, if you feel invisible, overlooked, passed over, understand this. You may be in your bamboo years, and the wise man does not abandon his bamboo.
Viktor Frankl, the great psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, wrote in his landmark book, Man's Search for Meaning, "Those who have a why to live can bear with almost any how." But there is a deeper truth hidden in this insight. A man who knows his purpose does not need to chase success, because his purpose becomes a beacon that draws everything he needs toward him. The ancient Hebrews had a word, kavanah. It means directed intention, sacred focus. The idea that when a man aligns his inner intention with his outward action, when what he thinks, says, and does all point in the same direction, something almost supernatural begins to occur. People notice him. Doors open for him. Resources flow toward him, not because he is lucky, but because he is aligned. Most men are scattered. They want 10 different things. They move in 10 different directions, and so they arrive nowhere. But the man with one clear purpose, one burning, unshakable mission, is like a laser.
And a laser can cut through steel. In almost every ancient culture, Hebrew, Greek, Roman, Egyptian, Chinese, there exists a universal principle. Give first. Sow before you reap. Plant before you harvest. Solomon wrote, "Cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days." Confucius taught, "He who wishes to secure the good of others has already secured his own." The man who gives value before he asks for anything in return becomes a magnet. He creates goodwill. He builds trust. He becomes known as a man who pours into others, and the world always finds a way to pour back into such a man. In your business, lead with value. In your relationships, lead with generosity. In your community, lead with service. Let me leave you with this. There is a version of you, a future version, who has everything you are working toward right now. The wealth, the respect, the peace, the life. That version of you is not running. He is not desperate. He is not chasing. He is not performing for approval or screaming into the void hoping someone notices. He is still. He is grounded. He knows who he is and where he is going. He works with precision and purpose. He gives generously. He holds his tongue and sharpens his mind. He has built his roots so deep that no storm can move him. And success, true success, has found him. Not because he chased it, but because he became the kind of man it could not ignore. The ancient wisdom is clear. The path has always been the same. If this wisdom spoke to something deep within you, if it stirred something you had forgotten or lit a fire that needed to be lit, then do one thing right now. Subscribe to The Bearded Scholar, because every week we go back to the ancient world and bring forward the wisdom that was meant for you. The man sitting here right now in this modern, distracted, noisy world. And leave a comment below. Tell me, what part of this truth hit you the hardest? I read every single one. Until next time, stay still, stay wise, and keep building. This is The Bearded Scholar.